We all have that dream, right? That one in a million fantasy where you're cleaning out the attic, the basement, or, in this case, helping your parents pack up their house for a move. You stumble across a dusty old box, a forgotten trunk, or maybe just a simple crumpled paper bag. Most of the time it's just stuff, old receipts, forgotten toys, maybe a kitschy souvenir. But sometimes it's treasure. This is the magic of PBS's Antiques Roadshow. It's a show that runs on that very hope, and a recent episode, Vintage Phoenix 2025, Hour 1, delivered one of the most relatable, heartwarming, and downright shocking moments we've seen in a long time. It's a story that has everything: a family mystery, a humble container, a fascinating artist backstory, and a guest whose reaction was so purely hilariously human, it's impossible not to love. The paper bag heard round the world. The scene begins like any other. A guest steps up to the appraisal table, bringing in items that her parents had collected when she was a child. They were preparing to move into a retirement home, a bittersweet, often stressful process of sorting through a lifetime of possessions. In that process, they found them, 4 small, carved wooden figurines: a dog, a parrot, a chicken, and an eagle. The appraiser, Alan Farmer, looked on with that gentle, knowledgeable poker face they all have. He asks about them. The guest explains the story, and then, as if it's the most normal thing in the world, she admits how she brought them to the show. "Wow," she'd later say, stunned. "I just have 'em in a paper bag over there." A paper bag. Not a velvet-lined box, not a climate-controlled case. A simple paper bag, likely snagged from the kitchen. This right here is what makes the show great. It's the contrast, the humble paper bag versus the incredible history it was, unbeknownst to her, protecting. Farmer, seeing the carvings, must have known immediately that this was no ordinary bag lunch. He was looking at the work of a master, the itinerant whittler who traded art for liquor. Before dropping the bomb, Farmer dove into the history, and what a story it is. These weren't just random whittlings. They were the work of Wilhelm Schimmel, a legendary figure from the late 19th century. Schimmel wasn't some refined artist working in a fancy studio. He was the definition of a struggling artist, described by Farmer as an itinerant. This was a man who wandered, who lived a nomadic life. He was a creator, but also a man who did all sorts of things to get by. His primary trade? He made these incredible, expressive carvings, but he didn't sell them for cash in galleries. He traded them. He traded them for supplies, Farmer explained. And apparently he traded them for a lot of liquor, because originally, a lot of these were found in alehouses and taverns and stuff. Can you just picture it? This man, walking into a tavern over 140 years ago, pulling a freshly carved eagle from his pocket, and trading it for a drink and a hot meal. He was, as one fan later commented online, the original itinerant whittler. Today, however, he's known as one of America's foremost 19th century folk sculptors. It's a backstory that is both tragic and beautiful. A man who likely had no idea that his barter items would one day be considered national treasures. His work, born of necessity and traded for fleeting comforts, had survived. And 4 of his pieces were now sitting on a table in Phoenix, having just been pulled out of a paper bag. The appraisal. Building the shock, one animal at a time. This is the moment we all wait for. The appraiser clears his throat. The guest leans in, expecting, what? A few $100s? Farmer decided to build the suspense, valuing them one by one. He starts with the dog, a charming, simple piece. The value, $1,000. The guest lets out a sharp, wow. Her eyes widen. You can see her brain instantly recalibrating. This is already way more than she expected. But Farmer is just getting started. He points to the chicken. That one? About $2,000. Another wow. Now she's really floored. He moves to the parrot, noted for its form and surviving paint. The value, $3,000. At this point the guest is just shaking her head, a smile of pure disbelief plastered on her face. This is the exact moment she makes the now iconic confession. Wow. I just have 'em in a paper bag over there. She's looking at $6,000 in value, and all she can think about is the humble, crumpled bag she'd been carrying them in. It's the most relatable reaction ever. Farmer laughs, knowing he's saved the best and biggest for last. He turns to the final piece, the eagle. Schimmel is most famous for his eagles. They are the quintessential pieces. This one was a stunner. The value for the eagle alone, $9,000. The guest is speechless. She just laughs a high, shocked sound and points off camera. Wow. There's my sister over there. Both laughing. I can't believe that. Wow, wow. In 2009, when the segment was first filmed, the grand total for the 4 pieces pulled from a closet and carried in a paper bag was a staggering $15,000. Eagle's mine. Farmer, clearly enjoying this fantastic family moment, had to ask the obvious question. Ah, so the two of you got these together, he prompted, gesturing toward her sister. How are you going to decide who gets what? Without missing a single beat. Without a second of hesitation. The guest lunges forward, puts her hand protectively on the $9,000 bird and declares with a laugh, Eagle's mine. It was perfect. A moment of pure, hilarious, sibling honesty. You can just imagine the conversation in the car on the way home. It's the kind of unscripted human reaction that makes Antiques Roadshow more than just a show about old stuff. It's a show about people. But wait, it gets even better. Here's the kicker. Because this was a Vintage Phoenix episode, the show revisited this amazing 2009 appraisal. And they provided an updated 2025 valuation. That $15,000 collection? Today, Farmer estimates the group is worth a collective $21,000. The value had increased by 40% in just 15 years. It's a testament to the enduring and growing appreciation for true American folk art. The dream we all share. When the Antiques Roadshow team posted the clip to their YouTube account, the comments section lit up. People were just as charmed as we are. I can see why the eagle is the most valuable. Not only is it the symbol of our great nation, but it is also absolutely stunning. I know the eagle is worth more, but I like the other 3 more and would be happy to get those instead of the eagle. Incredible. I wonder if Wilhelm was a struggling artist during his time. He absolutely was, which makes it all the more poignant. And my personal favorite, why isn't itinerant whittler a valid career path in 2025? This segment is, quite possibly, the perfect Antiques Roadshow story. It's a reminder that value isn't always obvious. It's a fascinating history lesson about an artist who traded masterpieces for tavern meals, and it's a hilarious, heartwarming family story. It reminds us all to check those closets, those attics, and yes, even those old paper bags. You just never know.